Welcome into the pregame show for Inter Detroit versus the Michigan Stars here on We Are Soccer. I had a chance to talk to head coach of Inter Detroit, Ryan Rowe, about some of the challenges and some of the blessings of this year's Inter Detroit team as they get ready for another successful season in the Midwest Premier League. Take a look. If this is the first time someone's watching Inter Detroit or is experiencing kind of that culture, what would you want them to know about this team, and what would you want them to know about this organization as a whole?
We want what's best for our players. You know, our goal is to, unfortunately, because there are still higher level leagues that play within our season frame time. We want players to get those opportunities and have the ability to open the door for them to be able to get to play in that level. I think that's kind of the realities you have to deal with, especially being surrounded by USL2 and UPSL and that kind of stuff. So it's more of a what can we do uh, as an organization to be successful as a team, but also get enough exposure for these players to open up the opportunities to get to higher levels.
Are there any players on this year's team that you think have overcome very significant obstacles in order to play for Inter Detroit this summer?
Significant obstacles.
Whether it
I
be stuff
think
on or off the field.
some of these factors can affect a player mentally, and you know my job as a coach is getting them to either regain their confidence, whether it's been hurt or ruined by being promised something and not getting it, or again going through something traumatic that takes them out of the game, that even though they're passionate, they can't be involved in it, and then entering back into a high paced, high energy, very physical men's game, to physically be ready to make an impact. Those things I think are difficult to overcome, and again takes a little bit of time, but people like Nick, I think, obviously Badgers game, he came out with flying colors. Like, I think he's with a few weeks of training with us, he's gotten the confidence back, and hopefully that goes throughout the rest of the summer.
Absolutely. Yes. Especially someone who definitely has, at least what I saw last night, or at least at the training, how, I don't know, kind of the whole team kind of gets along with him and how he's able to take on a bit of a leadership role, even though um, he might not be one of the captains this season. Uh, what do you like most about being the coach of Inter Detroit?
Well, I mean, obviously, not many people know my full out career, but I am a youth professional soccer coach. I that's This is what I do. I coach soccer. But I think probably the biggest enjoyment with being with Inter Detroit is just the change in the game. Um, Dealing with younger kids versus maturing adults. It's two different ability levels. It's two different IQ levels. Um, I can demand more out of the players because, again, they're looking. A lot of them are striving to hopefully get an opportunity at some level of professional. So we deal with some pretty high caliber players, whether it be just retiring from professional or finishing out Division 1 or high level college careers. It's quite fun to um, be able to coach some of these players that we get to deal with during the summer.
A big thank you to Ryan Rowe, the head coach of Inter Detroit, for joining us on the pregame show. After the break, we will be right back with the beginning of the Inter Detroit Michigan Stars game, the home opener for Inter Detroit. We'll see you back here in just a few moments.
Hi, Brooks. We're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just gonna do some light shopping. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
South America. Ooh. Wow, that's not MLS. Ugh.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump. Next to line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin. You know that.
Huh?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Craig, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Huh?
Well, welcome to Waterford Mott High School for the home opener of Inter Detroit as they look to take on the Michigan Stars live on the We Are Soccer channel. Both of these teams open with a victory against the Detroit Badgers FC and are now looking for sole reign over the #1 spot in the East Division of the Great Lakes Conference. Hello, everybody. My name is Garrett Pogg, and thank you so much for joining us on a sunny night for Midwest Premier League action with a big game coming up in just a few moments. Last time these two teams played, you may remember a bizarre revelation that there was no trainer present for the home side, which meant the game had to be canceled minutes after it started. We have confirmed that there is a trainer present on the sideline, so hopefully that means we won't have any issues like that, like there were last time. Excuse me. Now that we're ready to focus on today's matchup, let's talk about the keys to the game. For Inter Detroit head coach Ryan Rowe stressed that organization is going to be key for their game, making sure that everyone is in the right spot every step of the way. They want to take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of them when they arise and get ahead early so they can afford to sit back a little bit. Finally, it'll be on Coach Rowe to make countermeasures to prevent the Michigan Stars strikers from taking over the game. We have yet to see any guys take the field. We imagine that they were going to be walking out at this point, but until they do, let's go through the starting lineups. We'll start with the Michigan Stars. In goal, it's going to be Marko Matovsky from Lawrence Tech. We have Grant Mateer, Brooklyn Leho, Alex Ofima, Tyler Matuzek, Dennis Cowley, Evan Combs, Youssef Zatuna, Babacar Sene in the attack, as well as Rocco Galati, who had 3 goals last time around, and Richard Humphrey in that 4-0 win against the Detroit Badgers. Another name to watch out there in addition to Rocco Galati from Detroit Mercy is Grant Mateer, an attacker from South Carolina who also scored a goal off of a beautiful assist, if you remember that. But let's go through the starting lineups of Inter Detroit, starting with the midfielder Ryan Bovey from Saginaw Valley State, Edwin Gomez Ruiz, the futsal legend, Casey Bunker, Dennis Pineda, the 5'10", 29-year-old midfielder from El Salvador, played on some pro teams in Portugal over the past couple years. Ian Janis in goal, Peyton Trask, Nick Hatzios, who scored 2 goals against the Detroit Badgers last Sunday, Liam Zimmerman, Bosco Garcia, Pedro Hernandez, and Paul Skosilas from the University of Dayton. So no official walkout, it seems, or at least it looks like those are the subs coming on the field at the moment for Inter Detroit.
Good evening and welcome to Waterford Mott High School for tonight's home
We'll let our PA announcer take it away.
Between the Michigan Stars and your Inter Detroit. Now let's meet the lineup for both teams. First off, the visiting Michigan Stars. Number 80, Alex Okimu. Number 20, Richard Humphrey. Number 22, Tyler Manizak. Number 19, Brooklyn Leho. Number 13, Dennis Kelly. Number 12, Evan Combs. Number 6, Rocco Galati. Number 11, Youssef Zatuna. Number 5, Babacar Sena. Number 7, Grant Mateer. And in net, number 1, Marko Matovsky. They are coached by Dan Chun. And now, ladies and gentlemen, get out of your seat and onto your feet. Let's meet and greet your Inter-Detroit starting 11. At left back, number 20, Liam Zimmerman. At center back, number 29, Bosco Garcia. At center back, number 34, Pedro Hernandez. At right back, number 35, Paul Scoziles. At midfield, number 14, Peyton Trask. At midfield, number 6, Edwin Gomez Ruiz. At midfield, number 4, Ryan Bovey. At left wing, number 7, Casey Bunker. At right wing, number 11, Dennis Pineda. At center, number 17, Nick Hatzios. And in goal for your Inter-Detroit, number 13, Ian Janis. They are coached by Ryan Rowe in his 5th season. Ladies and gentlemen, the privileges of this event was made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy. Let us now honor and respect their efforts and our country. Civilian gentlemen, please remove your hats. All veterans, we encourage you to render the appropriate salute, and everyone able, please stand at attention, placing your hand over your heart as we proudly sing our national anthem.
So you guys didn't see it on camera. Very funny. Very funny thing.
And nothing but clear skies. Yeah, it's a beautiful night for Inter-Detroit soccer.
Very funny thing that took place in midfield. So we were having some issues playing the national anthem in the booth. And so the guys decided to just start shaking hands and forget it. And then the song started playing as they were shaking hands, so you just kind of had a big cluster of men in the middle of the field just looking up towards the flag. Very funny visual for me, but not for you guys. So here we go as we get ready, as they take their starting 11 picture before we are all set to go. As you heard over the speaker, very sunny conditions for the home opener for the Inter Detroit going up against Michigan Stars. Both of these teams have played a game up to this point. One of the few teams in the Midwest Premier League to play a game, as they both went 1-0 against the Detroit Badgers. Inter Detroit struggled a little bit, had the own goal. The Badgers had the own goal in the beginning of that game that ended up pushing them over the edge, as they only won that match 3-2. So if it wasn't for that own goal, it probably would have been a draw, and this would not be for sole possession of the top spot in the East Division of the Great Lakes Conference. Michigan Stars, however, blew Detroit out of the water 4-0, and could have been as much as 10-0 as if you watch that game. That there was a lot of offsides calls that were questionable at best, as well as some offsides calls with the ball going directly into the net that had to be called off because of the ref's decision there. So Michigan Stars wearing the white kits, red shorts. Inter Detroit in the signature all black unis. I would hate to be them in this really sunny conditions on turf, so it kind of reflects back up as well. So imagine there will be a lot of sweat emanating off those bodies. But here we go as we get ready to start here, and it looks like we need someone to set the clock. So it will be Michigan Stars starting with the ball. As Ryan Rowe enters his 5th season, and we are off here, counting up here, 45-minute halves.
Insert time 6:05 p.m.
So that's going to be Matovsky sending it out down the field. Going to start jumping there, but we'll start with an early foul, as looks like number 6 Rocco Galati was able to draw the foul there, jumping up for that header. Seemed like he had the right positioning, but he did fall down after the fact, so gets the call, and now an early free kick in what could potentially be the danger zone here for Inter Detroit. Such an important game for both of these teams. Like we talked about 1 year ago, this game was meant to happen but never did because of that trainer fiasco. So we hope that does not happen again. Galati set to kick it. Goes directly towards an Inter Detroit player and sent back the other direction, so the Stars will look to reset. That's Brooklyn Leho. Now back to the goalkeeper, Marco Matovsky from Lawrence Tech. Both keepers from Lawrence Tech, Ian Janis on the other side for Inter Detroit. That's sent back, Alex Ofimu, excuse me. Now sent up to Leho. Looking for an attacker down the field. Swings it across, nobody there. Will go directly into the hands of Ian Janis, which came off the chest of, I believe that's Paul Skosilas. Good attacking cross there from Babacar Sene on that last possession from Inter Detroit. The Michigan Stars are starting roughly 4 or 5 players, that maybe even as much as 6, that could consider themselves attackers or forwards or attacking midfielders even. So expect a lot of pushing up from Angelo Grillo in his 2nd season for this Michigan Stars U23 team. Most of the players on this field are U23 besides Dennis Pineda, the El Salvadorian national. Kick sent down the way. No one there. Possession flips back to the Stars. Pineda's been playing in Portugal for the past couple of years. Now getting his first start in the USA. Excuse me, 2nd start, but first stint, if you will. That's Alex Ofimu with the ball. His possession now. Mistouch. And now mistouch going the other way, so Looks like that's Galati looking to receive, not going to be able to do so. Brian Bovey intercepts it. Trying to perform some sort of counterattack is Inter Detroit. Trying to get past Tower Matuzek. And wins possession back.
Inter Detroit ball.
Number 14, Peyton Trask. That sends it out to Bovey. And I'll go back to Bosco Garcia. Last minute substitution for Inter Detroit. Had a player go out. It was Brett Russell, the 19-year-old, who's been subbed. I shouldn't say use the word sub. He is not playing in this game because of unforeseen circumstances, so it'll be Liam Holloway taking his place, number 16.
Goal kick, Michigan Stars.
Looks like it was some sort of offsides kick. Here's Matovsky sending it down the other way. Midfield of Inter Detroit trying to get hands on it, and that kick just a little too far out of the reach, and that will go out for a goal kick.
Out of bounds, goal kick, Michigan Stars.
Big thank you to everybody watching in the chat. Over 40 now of you. If you're rooting for Inter Detroit, Michigan Stars, or just rooting for the Midwest Premier League, feel free to make your voices known in our comment section. Thank you for joining us on the We Are Soccer channel for a beautiful night. A lot of folks in the stands wearing hats, as well as, even if they are wearing hats, a lot of them shielding their eyes from the sun, just blaring directly into our eyes, mine included. That ball sent to the air, headed up. And now it's going to look for an attack from Michigan Stars. It's not the touch you want. Possession flips back the other way. Now it goes back to Michigan.
Out of bounds, Michigan Stars ball.
They will look to reset possession. Here's Matovsky. Sends it back to Ofimu. Out wide, trying to get past Bovey, is number 22, Matuzek. A lot of this game playing on that far side of the field. See the shadow starting to creep in. I don't know if the guys are more drawn to that or not. It's a good pass towards the middle of the field. That's Galati now finding number 19, Jean Melakuki. And here's Babacar Sene. Cross, just a little too high, and sending it out of bounds is number 7, Casey Bunker.
Out of bounds, Michigan Stars ball.
Ball batted around. Stars trying to make something of it. They've been living in the danger zone here for a little bit. Shot on goal and in the net! Oh my! A wonder shot from number 2.
Evan Combs.
Excuse me, that was not Ballantyne. Excuse me, that was Evan Combs, the midfielder from Oakland. My apologies there. A lot of roster changes were given to me last minute at halftime, so I'm trying to read through my chicken scratch handwriting. Apologies there, but Evan Combs is credited with the goal. What an excellent shot from him. Seemed like that defense wasn't doing a whole lot for Inter Detroit, and now an offsides is going to be called, rightfully so.
Offsides on Inter Detroit.
This is what one of the things that Inter Detroit said they do not want to happen to them. They want to take advantage of the opportunities given to them and create countermeasures when they realize that the other team is attacking. So it seemed like the Inter Detroit defense just lazily set up there. Michigan Stars. Nope, it's going to be Inter Detroit trying to create something here on the attack. Excellent slide from Galati. Across too low to the ground, and that ball is sent up into the trees. I want to remind folks that our broadcast tonight is sponsored by 248 Construction LLC. Concrete flat work contractors, excuse me. They are the main sponsors of Inter Detroit for the 2025 season on all of their game kits. For any concrete flat work contract work, you can call 248-894-3882. That's 248-894-3882. As that ball sent back into Inter Detroit's side of the field. Big thank you to 248 Construction for their support of Inter Detroit. Inter Detroit trying to settle into some sort of possession game, just trying to get into some sort of rhythm. Seems like they've been out of focus since the game has started, haven't had a lot of time with the ball underneath their feet. Here's Bosco Garcia on the near side. Want something high up. That ball kneed away, and now out of bounds, and one back for Inter Detroit. Here's Nick Hatsios.
Out of bounds, Inter Detroit.
Was going to be the one to throw it in. Not quite. Be number 20, Liam Zimmerman instead. Here's Gomez Ruiz. Trying to swing the ball around. Michigan Stars able to keep it in. Excellent work there. Just beautiful stuff. Attack coming the other way. That was Galati from getting attacked from behind. Pass made up to number 7, trying to make a shot of it. Blocked. Shot was taken by Grant Mateer, who scored in the most recent game. Paul Silas. No, excuse me, now here's Edwin Gomez Ruiz. Looks like he got that back heel of the defender there. It's Inter Detroit, so it goes out for a throw-in for the Stars.
Out of bounds, Michigan Stars ball.
Stars player running out to the far outreaches of that fence to go grab that one. He will look to throw it in. Number 20, Richard Humphrey. And now here's Galati trying to start some sort of counterattack the other way. And now a foul called on Inter Detroit off of that big kick from Galati. Not sure who incurred the foul there, but regardless, possession goes back to the Stars. Here's Humphrey. Wanted Zimmerman inside, Zimmerman wanted that ball, and now he's going to be assessed a card. Wow.
Yellow card has been shown to Inter Detroit, number 20, Liam Zimmerman.
If that's how we're giving out cards tonight, we might have a whole lot of bookings.
Hey, how about just playing, dude?
So another free kick here, very similar to the one we saw in the opening of the game. Will be taken by Galati. Sends it away from the post. Far left side headed in. A lot of offensive and defensive players in the area, but Janis is able to get back to it. Now trying to start. And now an excellent move there from Gomez Ruiz. Got to make it count here, and that ball sent into the stratosphere by Matovsky. Not sure if the Detroit attacker was going to be able to claim that one anyways, but Matovsky making sure that nothing sneaky took place. Here's Bovey out wide. It's number 7. Some players on the Stars sideline warming up, getting ready to take the field potentially for them. In the corner, working around. Cross, too low to the ground, intercepted by the Stars. Wanted the quick counterattack. They've been trying to do that all game, but it gets intercepted once again. Here's Zimmerman. Shot from way out. And if you're the Stars, you want those kind of shots every time.
Out of bounds, goal kick, Michigan Stars.
It was just a little over the crossbar, if you will, but that shot from roughly 30, 40 yards out, I would say is ill-advised. Just 15 minutes into this one. And if you missed it earlier, Evan Combs had a beautiful wonder shot just outside of the 18-yard box to kick us off here for the Midwest Premier League season home opener for Inter Detroit. Goal kick sent to midfield. Ball's battered around. Galati sends it down the field. No, excuse me, that was Mateer. Bob Carsene trying to make something of it. Ball goes out. And it will be a goal kick.
Out of bounds, goal kick, Inter Detroit.
Here's Zimmerman looking for anybody. Finds Bosco Garcia behind him, and they will swing it around. It's Pedro Hernandez. On the far sideline, that double team able to rip the ball away. Now Stars are on the attack once again. Once number 19, Brooklyn Leho. Leho got the ball, but deflects it off of a defender. That was Zimmerman.
Out of bounds, corner kick, Michigan Stars.
So first corner of the day for either side. It is going to be Galati that's the one to take it. Scored a hat trick last time around against the Detroit Badgers. So far today, he's been the man setting up plays for this team rather than taking advantage of them. He sets up another one. Far side, the header not what they wanted. It goes back out. And now the Stars are looking to reset. Galati looks to keep the ball back in, but an excellent kick from number 11, Dennis Pineda. Kept possession alive for the moment, and instead it's going to go back to the Stars.
Out of bounds, Michigan Stars ball.
Galati shouting at his teammates, up here, making sure that they don't lose any space on this possession. And make sure that the throw-in comes in from as close to the goal as possible. Here's Galati. Out wide finds Mateer. Not quite. Intercepted, and now Inter Detroit just sends it back the other way. No one there to receive that pass. Turns into a goal kick for Michigan Stars. And
out of bounds, goal kick, Michigan Stars.
Matovsky has not had to work a lot tonight so far. Not a lot of possession from Inter Detroit towards him. Meanwhile, Ian Janis has had to make a few dives. No official saves yet. Here's Bovey. Gets intercepted. This is Sene on the far side of the field. Ball knocked out of bounds.
Out of bounds, Michigan Stars ball.
The Stars will take possession in the final third for Detroit. receives that pass. Sends it out towards the midfield. This pass is out wide for Alijo. Alijo trying to make something of it. Cross headed out of the way by Garcia. Here's Matuzek. Finds Spuddy out wide. Shot way over the net and out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Goal kick. Enter Detroit.
So Janice sends it to Zimmerman on a yellow. Sends it back to Garcia. Again, like we've mentioned, not a lot of flow to Inter Detroit's game so far. That pass just a little too much on it, but Zimmerman's going to get ahead of steam and try to take this one into the final third. Inter Detroit will have that opportunity
Inter Detroit ball.
to finally generate some momentum and get themselves back into this game. Only 20 minutes in, still a lot of time left to go. As Pineda is sent it. Gets knocked from behind as he heads that one up. This is Zimmerman in the attacking zone, not where he's typically at. Crosses over and hits the net out of bounds, so turns into a goal kick.
Goal kick. Michigan Stars.
With a few opportunities of attack so far tonight for Inter Detroit, and not able to get a shot on goal. Only one shot on goal in this entire game so far, and that was the goal scored by Evan Combs in the 7th minute. Here's Garcia trying to find Zimmerman on the left side. Goes off of his leg instead, off the defender's leg. That was Sene. Zimmerman throws it in. Finds Gomez Ruiz inside, one of the many futsal players for this squad that we'll see take the field this season. Had a chance to commentate some of their games for the National Futsal Premier League. A fun team that was. Hoping to see a little more success on the outdoor field though. Bosco Garcia deflects that back emphatically. Ball still loose and getting knocked around. Here's Pineda, finds Gomez Ruiz towards the midfield, fakes a shot and two defenders with him. Here's Pineda, the El Salvadorian, trying to make something of it. Shot blocked, and now Gomez Ruiz will retain possession. This is the momentum you're looking for. Zimmerman gets knocked over and the foul is called. So a free kick about 20 yards out from the goalpost. Four men that are part of that wall. Might be some running towards the goal. Not quite. They're just going to go for the shot instead, and it's just too high. Goes above the woodwork. Turns into a goal kick for the Stars. Matovsky sends it in. And now here's a potential attack for the Stars. Garcia says, no, sir, get that out of here. And now Gomez Ruiz finds Pineda on the near side. Guarded by Richard Humphrey. Looking for a cross, finds one, gets headed out of bounds, and it's the first corner kick of the afternoon for Inter Detroit.
Corner kick, Inter Detroit.
Headed out by Anthony Jokai, I believe. And sending this one in is going to be Dennis Pineda. The major signing. What's he got? Sends it too far wide. most likely going to go out of bounds, and it will. Turns into a throw-in for the Stars.
Out of bounds. Michigan Stars ball.
Not what fifth-year head coach Ryan Rowe wants to see. A lot of miss touches in the box and
Michigan Stars ball.
uninspired set pieces. And now a ball that's just sent way over the heads of everybody, so no one had a chance to get it. Inter Detroit has had their chances. They've just yet to take advantage of them. Like Ryan Rowe mentioned in our keys to the game, we talked about pregame before this. Great conversation I had with him a few days ago about this team and what he expects to see from it this season. A team with a lot of success. This is a East Divisional Championship team, both in 2022 and 23. 24, not as much success though. They were closer to the middle of the table. Here's a potential run. Looking for something here is Casey Bunker on that right wing. Ball sent out of bounds and not able to retain possession. Goes back to the Stars. You got to credit the Stars defense here, being able to swarm the ball. A lot of Inter Detroit has had to go 1-on-2. Looks like we have a substitution ready to check in for the Stars U23 squad. Up 1-0 in the 28th minute here on the We Are Soccer channel. Big thank you to all the folks watching in. Over 60 of you now. Excellent stuff.
Michigan Stars substitution, number 99, Bobby Harris.
Bobby Harris, the midfielder from Wisconsin, will take the field for the first time today. A lot of great talent here in the Midwest Premier League, ranging all the way from D1, from former pro players, all the way down to guys who are still in JUCO looking to make a name for themselves. Excellent defense from Michigan Stars there. Nothing from Hatsios. Now Bosco Garcia will find Bovee. Ball deflects around. Everyone trying to get possession. This is Gomez Ruiz. Wants a shot. He's going to find number 14 inside. Great save! Matovsky.
Save, Matovsky.
That was Peyton Trask with the shot. He's going to have another chance at it and will instead find Pineda out wide. Looking to dance with the defender in front of him. Zimmerman wants a shot. That shot too high.
Goal kick, Michigan Stars.
And now the Stars looking to play more of the possession game. Inter Detroit will get the ball back. A lot of momentum from Detroit ever since I mentioned that they needed some momentum. I won't say I had anything to do with it. These men on the field are smarter than I am. Here we go. Peyton Trask finds the ball back in his possession once again. Gets past his defender, needs a cross. He's going to send it out of bounds, and now try to deflect it off of the defender's foot, but instead goes off the shin of Trask, and it will turn into a goal kick instead. Want to remind folks that the next 30 minutes are brought to you by Chief Services LLC, roofing and renovation experts serving all of Southeast Michigan. They're also the stadium banner sponsor of Inter Detroit. For all of your roofing and renovation needs, call 248-787-5887. That's 248-787-5887. But thank you to Chief Services for their support of Inter Detroit. Some commotion midfield. It looks like a foul was called, and it'll be Stars' ball. Here's Richard Humphrey on the near side of the field. Finds Galati. He's been excellent on that right wing for them so far this season. Baba Carsene tries to keep it in bounds. Not able to do so, but is able to retain the throw-in to be taken by Galati. In the danger zone once again. If you want to put a stamp, an exclamation point on this period, as we're going to have a substitution come in for the Stars first. before this throw-in takes place. It will be Babacar Sene stepping off the field. Not sure who's coming in, though, at the moment. But if you want to put a stamp and an exclamation point on this game, getting another goal to go up 2-0 before the end of the half would be that thing to do. Stepping onto the field, yet to turn his back to us. We're not sure. We'll call his name out in a second. Until then, here's the throw-in. Straight into the head of Bosco Garcia. And now is kicked out.
It was 9 for the Stars.
Now taking the field, it is going to be Jean Melakuki, the attacker from Northwood. A few Northwood guys on this squad, makes sense. Angelo Grillo, the head coach. Head coach for Michigan Stars, Angelo Grillo, is a former Northwood Husky himself. Played for their team for many years. Head coach Ryan Rowe is a former Schoolcraft Jaguar, former JUCO product. Someone who works at a JUCO school myself and got my associates at a JUCO. I feel that's worth mentioning. Give the JUCO some respect, you know what I mean? Some commotion around midfield. It looks like they're going to call a handball, so it is going to be Detroit possession on the opposite side of the field.
Handball. Enter Detroit ball. Carlos Maida waiting to check in. 8.
We'll have another substitution for Inter Detroit. Now, excuse me, Stars here in a second. That header now sent way out of bounds. Not out of bounds, excuse me, on the other side of the field. Excellent job from Galati to send that to the other side of the planet, but now Inter Detroit gets it right back to where it was before. Great defensive step from Dennis Cali. Keeps it in bounds. Now he's going to keep the possession going forward. Excellent attack here. Oh, almost. Just outside the reach of number 9, Jean Melakuki. On that pass there. So Detroit gets the ball back. Substitutions now coming in, a little more for the Inter Detroit side.
One is Jennings. I can't get the other ones right now.
Luke Kearns is now checked in for the Inter Detroit side.
Enter Detroit substitution. Kyle Jennings and Luke Kearns.
You heard the other name there, Kyle Jennings, the attacker from Adrian. D3 school, just south of here. Here we go, and they're going to call an offsides. I feel like that was a bit of a late call there from the side judge there. So, regardless, the Stars will get the ball back. This has been a game of momentum shifts. Felt like the Stars had all the momentum in the first 20 minutes of this game. For about 10 or 15 minutes after that, it was all in the hands of Inter Detroit, not able to capitalize though, so still 1-0. With substitutions coming on the field, it looks like we'll see some new life in this game on either side. Look to see who is able to take advantage. Stars have done a good job of playing the possession game up to this point. That ball sent out wide to the near side. Here's Rocco Galati, able to settle it. Takes sole possession. Grant Mateer gets the ball kicked from behind. Still able to keep possession. Blocked by Pedro Hernandez. Now Galati sends it out wide, but it's just going to go through the back of the end zone. Makes it a goal kick.
Goal kick. Inter Detroit.
Ian Janis will run back out for that ball. 37th minute here on the We Are Soccer channel. Waterford Mott High School. Big thank you to them and their hospitality here this afternoon. Always good vibes from the Waterford Mott crew, whether it's Inter Detroit or any other sport here. Here's Matier. And they will reset. This is Humphreys. Matier fakes it, goes through to Galati. Galati looking for somebody to do anything. Not a lot of movement. Away from the ball. Gets it poked away by Gomez Ruiz, and he'll take possession on the other side. Looking to get past the defender. He will. That was Combs. It's Inter Detroit having to go through every single defender for the Stars. Now here's Pineda on the left wing. Sends it inside. Gets it headed away by a defender. Now sent back to midfield. Bosco Garcia trying to keep the possession alive. Here's Kearns. Near side finds Pineda in there. Not quite. Ball goes back out. It's Paul Skasilas. Possession resets. Here's Garcia. Pineda not the right touch. Trying to generate momentum by any means necessary. Here's who I believe is Kyle Jennings on the other side. Kearns gets past Matier. Almost. Not quite. We'll send it to Gomez Ruiz in the midfield. Kearns gets the ball back. Now out to Pineda. Had Jennings in front of him. Instead goes back to Gomez Ruiz. This is Skasilas looking to dribble through everybody. Does almost that. And now falls over. Excellent work there from Tyler Matuzek to kick it off of the chest of Casey Bunker and retain possession for them. Now on the throw-in. Super high throw-in, goes up into the air. There's a foul called on who? On the Stars. Looks like it was on Matier for trying to jump up and win the ball. I guess you're not allowed to do that. Regardless, it's Detroit's possession. A little less than 40 yards out from goal. It'll be Pineda set to take this one. The last time he tried creating a set piece, it went over the heads of everybody on the field. Let's see if they can be a little more creative with this one. Sends it over. Wanted a header from Pedro Hernandez, not able to get it though. So goes out for a goal kick. Inter Detroit had that momentum for about 10 or 15 minutes and now struggling to get it back there. Not able to make anything of the fluky foul call from our center ref. Matier, great footwork to be able to keep the ball in play. But here's Kearns instead. Wants Bovey and is going to get tripped up and fouled by Matier. He's going to get a yellow for that. Matier receives a yellow. I believe that's his.
To Michigan Stars, number 7, Grant Matier.
I believe that's his first yellow of the season. And he was beat. You know, Matier was just not happy that he got beat on that one play. Tried to retain the ball back from behind, and that's never the way to do it with a slide tackle. So it'll be Gomez Ruiz to send it in. rush towards the net. Header up and over the net. It hit the crossbar, that football crossbar above the net. But of course, that is the out of bounds marker, so not able to stay in play. Unbeknownst to me, now in the game is Irvin Castro, the attacker from Lawrence Tech, one of the many Lawrence Tech players for this.
Irvin Castro.
Here's the far side. That's the man we were just talking about, Castro. Sends it in. Casey Bunker not able to keep it underneath his legs. Gomez Ruiz gets it back. Trying to beat the defender there. And there's going to be a foul called after Gomez Ruiz falls over. And if you're on either side of the pitch, I feel like you got to recognize that this ref is calling fouls on just about anything. So I imagine we're going to see a lot more flops take place as this game continues to roll on. Looks like it'll be Gomez Ruiz to send it in on that far side of the field. Looking for momentum. What do we got? Pedro Hernandez tries to keep it alive. Richard Humphreys trying to steal it away. And that goes off the foot of Hernandez, and it's going to go back to the Stars. Got to credit this Stars defense. Been playing stout and phenomenal all game long. Only one shot on goal from them. From Inter Detroit, I should say, but only one shot on goal allowed from that back line. From a team that started a lot more attackers than defenders. It's pretty impressive to see the defense holding up as well as it has. Galati will be the one to throw it in. He's thinking about sending it back to the defense. Will not. Instead sends it to the Inter Detroit. This pass intercepted. Inside here. Gonna get a shot on goal. That's a great save. Now Matier trying to make something of it. And that goes out of bounds.
Save. Ian Janis.
That was John Melakuki that tried to take that shot on. Not tried, he did take the shot on. Great save from Janis. That secondary shot from Matier was blocked off of a defender's chest or shoulder area, so we'll go out for a corner kick. Taking this one is going to be Bobby Harris, midfielder. Like we talked about, putting a stamp at the end of the half, but decided to reach his hand up and smack it almost for no reason. I imagine there is a thought process in his head as we are now in extra time. Not sure how much time we're getting here from our fourth official. I believe his name is Matthew. Great guy. Shook his hand earlier. Nice fellow, I should say. But doesn't have any of those fancy gadgets that tell me how much time we're looking at. Looks like Galati will take this one once again. Sends it in. On frame at the feet of Humphreys. Not able to make anything of it, though. And now here's a shot. Way over the net. And wide as well. Looks like there is a foul by the Stars there. So not a goal kick, but rather just a free kick instead, as that foul was called before that last shot was taking place. And now these teams well aware that there's not a lot of time left on the clock, trying to make anything of it. Chasing that one out of bounds is going to be number 13, Dennis Cali. Not going to need to, though.
Enter Detroit ball.
Enter Detroit gets the ball in the final third. That ball's ripped away back into the possession of the Stars. And now it looks like a little rough play. Here it is going to be a foul called on, I believe that was Irvin Castro. And with not a lot of stoppage throughout this first half, I imagine that whistle's going to blow any minute. Looks like our Stars player is taking his good old time to get back up. Stars to send it away. Instead, we'll send it back to the keeper as they look to just retain possession. Oh, maybe not. They want Galati, and this one gets headed and bumped over by Luke Kearns. So now the Stars will have a free kick inside the danger zone. Here's Matier looking to make something of it. Sends a crossover. It gets headed up by Silas, excuse me. Now Ryan Bovey trying to keep possession around. Ball goes out of bounds and goes back to the Stars. Looked like there was some sort of foul call, or went out though. Ref having a conversation with some folks. So the Stars will look to once again make something crazy happen before the end of the half. Rolling into the 4th minute of extra time here. And that is going to be the end of the first half, as that back heel kick not able to be successful. Michigan Stars up 1-0 over Inter Detroit. Not a whole lot going on here, but there's some action. We'll talk to you about it at halftime. For now, my name is Garrett Pog. We'll take a step aside. We'll be back with the halftime report in a little bit. Welcome to the halftime show of the Inter-Detroit Michigan Stars game here on We Are Soccer. During my conversation with Ryan Rowe, we talked about a special day coming up tomorrow and just how important that day is to him.
I'm sorry, this is one of our loves and passions, but I think it's a great thing that we get to have an opportunity to get out on a beautiful weekend and being able to be outside and enjoy some wonderful weather. But wishing all the mothers out there, including my wife and my mother, I appreciate you dealing with the demands of our job, because it does take a lot of nights and weekends up. But hoping you guys have a wonderful Mother's Day, and I think this year is the first year in 18 years I'll actually be able to spend a Mother's Day with my family. So it's going to be great.
On behalf of everybody here at We Are Soccer, happy Mother's Day to all the moms watching throughout the world. After this, we'll come back with the halftime report of the Inter-Detroit Michigan Stars game right after this.
tempo, yes, yes, drop out, good. Yes, touch, play, right foot, yes. Scan, good. Touch in, play, drop your hip, right, yes, good scan. Yes. Jay, well done. Good side on touch. Play, see it, yes.
I'm Craig Hearn. Today, I'm here with the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. He's going to show me some simple exercises and stretches to do before my soccer games. Because to be honest, I'm getting a little older and I need to be better prepared for these games. All right, he's got some stuff he's going to show us. Let's jump in.
What's up, guys? Dr. Zach here with Craig. We're going through a dynamic warm-up here. Super important, especially in this age group as we get older. A lot of guys that I see, they go right from their car and straight to the field without any warm-up. We want to make sure that we're getting the body warm, we're getting loose, we get the heart rate up so that we can help reduce injuries. All right, guys, so I've got Craig currently.
Welcome to the halftime report here for the Michigan Stars Inter-Detroit game. Looking at that beautiful Waterford Mott Corsairs logo in the middle of the field. It's been a wonderful sunny night for everybody that is not staring into the sun. For people like myself, it has not been as fun. But still a fun half here. Michigan Stars got the scoring open early with a goal from Luke Combs, a nice wonder shot from about 20-25 yards out to start out the scoring. From then on, it's been a whole lot of back and forth passing, knock the ball around kind of thing. There's been some cards assessed. For Inter, just one to Liam Zimmerman, and for Michigan Stars, they have two operated on the yellow, Brooklyn Leho as well as Grant Mateer. So, again, not a lot of stuff going on in terms of stats and on the scoreboard, only one save each, but feels like the momentum has been kind of shifting back and forth between both of these sides, and you'll notice that, kind of the momentum will shift back and forth in terms of opportunities being able to take place on the field. So we'll see how those adjustments will look to take place. We talked to Ryan Rowe before the game, and he said they want to countermeasure what the Stars are doing during the game. So I imagine he's having a good talk with his team about stop being so bleeping lazy and get towards the ball on defense. But both defenses have been pretty solid so far, especially the Michigan Stars. It feels like any time that Inter-Detroit is on the attack, they've had 2 or 3 defenders towards the ball. So great stuff from both sides, especially the Michigan Stars side, up 1-0 in a very important match against Inter-Detroit. The winner of this match, assuming there is a winner, will take sole possession of that number 1 spot in the Great Lakes East Division. All right, that'll do it for the halftime report. We will be right back in just a little bit for the second half here from Waterford Mott High School.
All right, Brooks, we're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just gonna do some light shopping. Okay. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
Coming back to who? Wow, that's not MLS. Ugh.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump. Next to line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin, you know that.
Huh?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Craig, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Huh?
I'm Craig Hearn. Today, I'm here with the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. He's going to show me some simple exercises and stretches to do before my soccer games. Because to be honest, I'm getting a little older and I need to be better prepared for these games. All right, he's got some stuff he's going to show us. Let's jump in.
What's up, guys? Dr. Zach here with Craig. We're going through a dynamic warm-up here. Super important, especially in this age group as we get older. A lot of guys that I see, they go right from their car and straight to the field without any warm-up. We want to make sure that we're getting the body warm, we're getting loose, we get the heart rate up so that we can help reduce injury. All right, guys, so I've got Craig currently doing some grass sweeps. He's doing a Frankenstein stretch, and he's also going through some pogos right now. Whoa, Craig, what the hell?
Yep. Sorry, Doc.
All this newfangled dynamic warm-up, this and that. What's wrong with my old warm-up? Oh, yeah, the doc was right. Definitely need the new warm-up. Oh, good Lord.
Change tempo, yes, yes, drop out, good. Yes, touch play, right foot, yes. Scan, good. Touch in, play, drop your hip, right, yes, good scan. Yes. Jay, well done. Inside on touch. Play, see it, yes.
Welcome to the halftime show of the Inter-Detroit Michigan Stars game here on We Are Soccer. During my conversation with Ryan Rowe, we talked about a special day coming up tomorrow and just how important that day is to him.
I'm sorry. This is one of our loves and passions, but I think it's a great thing that we get to have an opportunity to get out on a beautiful weekend and being able to be outside and enjoy some wonderful weather. But wishing all the mothers out there, including my wife and my mother, I appreciate you dealing with the demands of our job, because it does take a lot of nights and weekends up. But hoping you guys have a wonderful Mother's Day. And I think this year is the first year in 18 years I'll actually be able to spend a Mother's Day with my family. So it's going to be great.
On behalf of everybody here at We Are Soccer, happy Mother's Day to all the moms watching throughout the world. After this, we'll come back with the halftime report of the Inter Detroit Michigan Stars game right after this. Teams have now taken the field, and we are ready, almost ready, I should say, to take part in the second half of this game. Inter Detroit against the Michigan Stars U23 squad. Currently 1-0 in favor of the Stars after an Evan Combs wonder shot from 25 yards out to get us going in the 7th minute. Very curious to hear what these coaches may have talked about at halftime as we await for the second half to start. It will be Detroit's possession, but if you've been watching this game, you recognize that that doesn't necessarily matter, as these teams have been flipping possession back and forth like a pinball machine. So another 45 minutes set to start here in just a few moments. It will be Nick Hatzios to send it back. Excuse me, that is Irvin Castro. As they look to generate some momentum and get things going here on the We Are Soccer YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching tonight's festivities. As many as 60 to 70 live viewers. And we are off. Ball sent down the way, headed by number 7, Casey Bunker, and it goes out of bounds, but possession stays with Inter Detroit. Paul Skosilas, wearing the captain's armband, set to send it in. That throw straight into the hands of Marko Matovsky. Now ball sent to the other side of the field, so it's ball being flipped around in terms of possession. Now we're back at midfield. Looking to change sides. Here's Skosilas.
Hello? Yes, I'm trying to get that working right now.
It's Pedro Hernandez. Sends it out wide. I believe that's Luke Kearns on the far side. And that left backer role. One of the interesting things I heard from Edwin Jimenez in the team's training this past week is if you can play multiple positions, if you're a dynamic as a player as opposed to being just a guy who plays one or two positions per se, you'll have more opportunities to play on this squad. There's about 40 players rostered. You can only dress 18 in a game, obviously. So the more dynamic you are in your playing ability, the more chances you'll have to be able to be on the field. He said if you only play one or two positions, it's not bad. It's just the luck of the draw at that point. So a lot of Inter Detroit players stretching and warming up to potentially get ready to head into this game in the second half here.
As that throw comes in on the Star side. Possession stays with Michigan. So now the ball sent in. This is number 2, Connor Ballantyne. Sends it. This is Sko intercepting it. Skasilas, excuse me. Edwin Gomez-Ruiz, who's played the entirety of this game up to this point, gets it to Bovey. Now to Skasilas. Looking to make some sort of run. Checks a shot directly into the back of Alex Ofimu. Gomez-Ruiz swinging the ball around. It's Hernandez. Gives it back to Gomez-Ruiz. So crafty with his footwork. We've seen on display throughout this game. Grant Mateer tried to intercept that pass, not quite. Now we're on the other side to Luke Kearns. Luke Kearns will get the ball back in an attacking position, needs the cross here. Deflected out of bounds by Richard Humphrey.
Out of bounds, enter Detroit ball.
Throw in for the danger zone. Headed out by Richard Humphrey once again, but it stays in bounds. Kearns tries to get possession. Kicked up into the air by Galati, I believe. Now it goes out of bounds in favor of Inter Detroit.
Inter Detroit ball.
As they look to see where is the best place to throw this. Everyone gets settled. Possession stays in play for Inter Detroit. That ball kind of bouncing around a little bit. That's Irvin Castro, excuse me, with the ball in his possession now. Gets the cross in, and the ball will go directly into the hands of Marko Matovsky. Inter Detroit wanted a call. I believe it was deflected back into Matovsky's hands from a Michigan Stars player, so obviously that's not legal. So it looks like the Inter Detroit wanted some sort of call there, not going to get it.
Out of bounds, Michigan Stars ball.
Throw in on a near side on that far side of the field, if you will, for Inter Detroit, or excuse me, for the Stars, as they go back into attack mode. Sending this one to the other side of the field is number 13, Dennis Cali. Next score here would be a great exclamation point. Oh, great save! Ian Janis! And Rocco Galati not able to capitalize on the rebound attempt. Instead, it's Ian Janis' second save of the afternoon. Rocco Galati had 2 chances at it, not able to capitalize on either one. The first one going into the chest of Ian Janis. So great moves by him to be able to retain that ball. Speaking of retaining the ball, it's going to be Bobby Harris, excuse me, who was able to retrieve the ball back, and now it's going to be a foul. Talked about the excess of fouls and cards given in terms of what they were calling on the field, but thankfully we have not seen a flop fest occur, so we had speculated that that may happen as the game continues. Free kick from midfield is taken by Bobby Harris. Now ball flipping around between the Stars players. Galati looks to settle it. He will. Gets double teamed and tripped. Gomez-Ruiz, the fouler on that one. Ball sent back into play immediately. This is number 2, Connor Ballantyne. Alfimi will get the ball back. Now to Ballantyne on that left backer position. Michigan Stars seem content to play that possession. And here's a steal, a takeaway. And now tripped up, and a foul is going to be called with a yellow card on number 10, Anthony Jokai.
A yellow card has been shown to the Michigan Stars, number 11, Anthony Jokai.
In the 53rd minute, third yellow of the day for the Stars. And it looked like he had, I don't know if he made direct contact with number 12, Kyle Jennings, who was on that attack there. He tried to make a play on the ball. Jennings was able to get out of the way and jump over the leg, it looked like. But he kind of loses his footing, falls down, and the foul is called. Gomez Ruiz sends it in. Wants a header. Player falls over. They wanted a call off of a, I don't know, you can't just fall over by yourself and expect a call on that. So, another uninspired set piece gives a goal kick to the Michigan Stars, unfortunately for them, I should say. Fortunate for the Stars. This ball sent in on damn near 3/4 of the way down the field. Here we go as number 7, Casey Bunker, bulldozes Connor Ballantyne. And now a yellow card has been shown, I believe, to Bunker. And nothing malicious or intentional about that, I believe, but, you know.
Has been shown to Inter Detroit's Casey Bunker.
No, excuse me, it is going to be Ballantyne that's assessed with the yellow card because the foul is on the Michigan Stars. Matovsky tried to make that save, fell over in the process.
The card was shown to the Michigan Stars, Connor Ballantyne.
Nice, Bobby, nice.
Ball flipping around in all types of different directions here. Trying to make anything of it as the Minter Detroit, as they have a player on the field. And now trying to make a run of it is number 13, Dennis Cali. Able to split the double team. Here's Cali. And now that ball deflected off of the leg of, I thought that was Casailas, but
Michigan Stars ball.
it's going to be a throw-in for the Michigan Stars in the danger zone. Possession has been going all over the place. Looked like there was an injured player on the field for Inter Detroit. He is now back up, so thankfully nothing scary there. Here's Mateer. Sends it out wide. That's Richard Humphreys. Great possession game here from Michigan Stars in the final third. Bobby Harris wanted that ball, doesn't take the right touch. Instead, this ball sent out to Ballantyne, who just received that yellow. 4th yellow for the Stars. Kelly trying to make something happen here. Sends it back out to Ballantyne. Good patience from the Stars team. And a lot of excellent touches from the Stars as well. That's an ill-fated pass. It's going to go into the possession of Ryan Bovey, who sends it up the field and deflects a pass off of Richard Humphreys. Able to angle his foot so it goes off of the leg of an Inter Detroit player, so it gives possession back to the Stars. Ball back into play.
20, Liam Zimmerman back into the game for Inter Detroit.
Zimmerman is now checked back into the game. He is playing on a yellow, so something to watch out for if he decides to rush into another play. another player, excuse me. Because that's all it takes to get a yellow in games like this, it seems. So here we go. Bovee sends it up. I believe that's Pineda on the far side. An excellent defense there to deflect it off of the leg. I believe that was number 22, Tyler Matuzek, who was able to stop that attack from forming.
Michigan Stars goal kick.
No, excuse me. It's going to be just a missed dribble from Pineda, I believe, and it's a goal kick from the Stars. Another missed opportunity on the attack. And the Michigan Stars have shown that they are very comfortable playing the possession game and being patient with their offense. They did have an ill-fated turnover. Here's Dennis Cali, great speed to be able to catch up to the ball, but was two defenders in the area, not able to keep the possession alive. Detroit keeps the possession alive for Michigan Stars, though. And Janis will get the ball back. Inter Detroit will reset. This is Luke Kearns on the near side. Sends that ball out to Kyle Jennings, who was offside by about a yard or two. Again, a lot of potential for attacks here, just not able to make anything of it. Is Inter Detroit here? I think largely, or just a bit of a disappointing game so far, as we're nearing our way through 2/3 of this game being played. Clearing that ball out is number 80, Ofimu, excuse me. Harris gets it to Galati, who's now playing towards the middle. No handball called. He's able to keep possession underneath his feet. One in Matier, bounces off of his feet. Now here's Gomez Ruiz, looking for attack on the other side. Here's Irvin Castro, far side, needs a teammate. Does he have one? He has Casey Bunker inside. Low cross, not able to get anything there. Those low crosses have not worked for Inter Detroit one bit. Dribbling through everybody, I believe, was Gomez Ruiz, as he gets tripped up and fouled now. The next 30 minutes of this game are brought to you by the Michigan Super Cup, taking place on July 5th and 6th. $20,000 in prize money, an adult competitive soccer tourney in Brighton, merging semi-pro with Sunday League teams. If you're interested in participating, contact JP at 248-494-6540. That is 248-494-6540. Excuse me. There was an attack. There's an attack generating there, and Matovsky's able to save that shot directly into his arms from Irvin Castro. Apologies for missing that there. Got to make the sponsors happy, though. Thank you to the Michigan Super Cup for their support of Inter Detroit. So now another attack generating for Inter Detroit, able to dribble through the whole left side of the field. Cross inside, another save! Matovsky once again, third save of the evening.
Inter Detroit.
I believe this is the second or third corner kick of the afternoon for Inter Detroit. Looks like it's going to be Gomez Ruiz to send it in. Excuse me, no, it looks like that's Pineda. Set pieces have not worked out well for Inter Detroit up to this point. Let's see if that changes. Pass is sent in. Header deflected off of some Stars and now sent out and away to the other side of the field. Kearns will send it back to Ian Janis. We'll give the ball right back to Kearns. And now they will reset. Liam Zimmerman playing on a yellow. Inter Detroit playing more of the possession game this time around, just trying to get comfortable, bring themselves into a rhythm instead of having one person dribble through the whole team like they've had up to this point. That ball knocked, and they're going to find Kyle Jennings towards the inside. And kicking that out of bounds is going to be number 2, Connor Ballantyne.
Out of bounds, Inter Detroit ball.
Defender from Oakland. A few Oakland players on this year's squad, as well as last year's. A lot of players that have returned, and Angelo Grillo's second year with this team. Kearns finds Bunker near side. Going to get past his defender. There's 2 of them there. Wanted Castro inside, not able to reach him, so it goes straight into the hands of the keeper, Matovsky. Ball sent 3/4 of the way down the field once again. Trying to take advantage of this one is Grant Mateer, as the ball's directly in front of him, battling with Bosco Garcia, one of the futsal players for this squad.
Corner kick, Michigan Stars.
Corner kick set to take place here for the Stars. It will be number 99, Bobby Harris, the midfielder from Wisconsin, to send it in. As he waits for the ball from one of the few ball kids out there. Big thank you to them and their efforts this evening. Doesn't go unnoticed. Corner set to take place. Here's Harris. Sends it in. On frame. Over the hands of Ian Janis. He had to push that one out to prevent it from going into the goal. Credit that as his 3rd save of the evening. Touched it. So goal kick now creates an opportunity for Kyle Jennings and co. to do something here on the attack. Defense not having any of it.
Out of bounds, Inter Detroit ball.
Credit this Michigan Stars defense. They've done a great job of pushing those balls out of bounds and allowing the defense to be set before the Inter Detroit team is ready to take advantage. Ball sent in, goes back to Kearns. Gets past the double team. And this is Pedro Hernandez. Has Bosco Garcia to his left. We'll look to instead split the double team. Find someone inside, that's Bovee. Keeping possession alive is Jennings. Looking for somebody out there, and that kick just a little too much. A little too much zip on it, as I often say. Back on the attack here, trying to create some momentum for themselves. They've had a good amount of momentum since the start of the second half, I should say. Not allowed a lot of chances to come through. That's a good example of one. That's Pedro Hernandez intercepting that pass attempt. Kick far down the way. Irvin Castro trying to make something of it. Jersey tugging on both sides, no call. Stars will take possession here. Again, Inter Detroit, a lot of opportunities, just not being able to take advantage of them, whether it be mistimed passes or not the right touch that they want on the ball, whether it be on the cross or the shot itself. Here's Dennis Cali inside the box now, wants a shot. Oh, almost had it, just outside of the box, out of the woodwork, excuse me.
Out of bounds, goal kick, Inter Detroit.
Dennis Cali, good footwork there, and almost had the goal. Had it been just a few inches to the left, it would have been probably off the woodwork and into the net. Instead, score remains 1-0. Pineda gets the ball stripped from him. Stars looking to move back. Moving around with this one is 22, Tyler Matuzek.
Ball stays with the Stars.
Matuzek will be the one to throw it in. This is Harris. Crosses it to the other side of the field. Here's Callie. We've seen him in his footwork before. Instead, he'll find Harris inside. Wanted a teammate, not going to find anybody there. It's Casey Bunker instead with a potential counterattack opportunity for Inter Detroit. Here we go. Irvin Castro trying to make something of it in that near side corner. Defended by Ballantyne. We'll look instead, the low kick from Kearns, not able to make anything of it, but retains possession for Detroit. Swings it around. That shot nowhere close from Liam Zimmerman. 5'10" defender from Saginaw Valley State. A lot of SVSU Cardinals on this team. Unfortunately, that chemistry is not coming to play as this team looks, I don't want to say all out of sorts, because they have generated some impressive runs up to this point, but ultimately just nothing to show for it. So it's another goal kick from the Stars. A push going to go uncalled there, and Galati's going to make sure that Kyle Jennings gets his. It is worth mentioning these refs are being evaluated. It feels like there's a lot of games where ref evaluators will come and make sure that their guys are doing the right job, which can offer, I shouldn't say offer, but sometimes puts a little more pressure on the referees to call things that they may not call otherwise. Ruiz sends it in. That goes into the hands of Janis, and there's going to be a foul called. Some sort of goalie interference from Inter Detroit, so maybe even offsides. Matovsky sends it out. Not Janis, excuse me. I apologize if that's what I said. Kearns has somebody next to him. He's going to ignore him and try to take it himself. He's got players inside, crosses over. Richard Humphrey, not the right pass, but makes the right pass. Maybe not to Gomez Ruiz. Gomez Ruiz, known for dancing with the ball. Finds Pineda on the outside. Ruiz wants the cross. Gets potentially tripped up by number 8, J.C. Maeda, excuse me. And a lot of just tugging and pushing and wrapping your body all around the ball. Here's a yellow card on, who is that? For Inter Detroit. That is Edwin Gomez Ruiz, who was given the yellow card.
A yellow card was shown to Inter Detroit's number 6, Edwin Gomez Ruiz.
73rd minute here. Inter Detroit trying to make something of it. Here we go, header. First from Detroit, now from the Stars. The Stars trying to keep it inbounds. They're going to say that went out of bounds. Not so sure about that call, but
Out of bounds, Inter Detroit ball.
puts Detroit in the final third. And it looks like there is a substitution coming on. It is going to be number 11. Youssef Satuna, who we haven't said his name a lot today. He's been on the attack, but hasn't seen. After the Inter Detroit throw-in, looked like it was Casey Bunker who got knocked over, is able to draw the foul. And another yellow's given out. This one to number 80, Alex Ofimu.
A yellow card has been shown to the Michigan Stars number 80, Alex Ofimu.
I'm running out of room on my page. I don't know if I've ever seen this many yellows for things that are so routine in a game. some talk that maybe he said some colorful language. But regardless, even if that's the case in that instance, there's been a lot of questionable yellow cards handed out. And as the season rolls on, it's very early, so there's not going to be any suspensions as a result of this, assuming nobody gets a red. Potential cross here. Ball's on the ground. Everyone's skating around for it. Matovsky able to get it in his hands. No official shot there, so it's going to be Grant Mateer trying to get the ball in his possession. An excellent job from Ian Janis to get the ball in his hands. Keeping this game at 1-0. In-season suspensions later on, when games matter more during the end of the regular season run. Great shot from Grant Mateer, but it goes straight into the chest of Ian Janis. That's his 4th save of the evening. Ball floated up. Here's Pineda trying to get possession of it. Bumped from behind, no call. An excellent move there from the Stars defender to keep possession alive for the U23 squad. And now we got some, everybody's falling over like a bunch of bowling pins. I imagine there's some sort of frustration boiling over for both sides. Kearns gets the ball now out of the free kick. This is Bunker off the leg of Callie.
Out of bounds, ball stays with Inter Detroit.
Who's played as a wingbacker throughout this game. That dynamic speed that he's shown, certainly going to make an impact in future games if it hasn't already in this one. Wanted his buddy inside, not going to be able to get him is on the Inter Detroit side. Pineda now going to be called for a foul for a minor shove in the back on his side. Matovsky sent this one to the other side of the field, headed up by Bosco Garcia. Now by Galati. That's going to be Edwin Gomez-Ruiz, who's kind of been quarterbacking this team, at least on the offensive side of things. Push to Dennis Callie goes uncalled. The ball sent around, that's Adam Smolchich, excuse me. Humphreys makes that pass on the far side. Double teamed, able to skip past it. Galati wants to kick up into the air for Grant Mateer. Mateer's not able to get it. This is going to end up being a goal kick for Inter Detroit, as they recognize time is waning with a little less than 12 minutes to go in this game, that if they want to get 3 points, they got to act quick. I'm surprised neither one of these teams have tried to draw more fouls and cards up to this point. Kyle Jennings wanted that ball. It's just a little too far out of the reach for him. Matovsky was in the way. And good sportsmanship from Kyle Jennings to get that ball for Matovsky. He could call it sportsmanship, but I'm sure he just wants the game to continue to progress so Inter Detroit can have more chances at the net instead of letting time wane on. Kearns heads that one. Ball knocked into the air. Jennings wants Pineda, not able to find him. Here's a defender for the Stars, double teamed. Is able to make that pass though. Galati. Not the pass that he wanted. Looking for number 22.
Out of bounds, Inter Detroit ball.
Tyler Matuzek, the defender from Oakland. We're back into play already. Both teams struggling to just keep possession alive. This is Pedro Hernandez with the ball now. Sends it to the far side of the field and into the hands of Matovsky. Number 20, Liam Zimmerman wanted a shot on the goal. Typically a defender, but has found his way up to the front of the attack so far. Janis will get the ball back as the Stars have said that they're okay with allowing themselves to play back a little bit and let Inter Detroit try their best to make some attacking chances happen, as they have not been able to do a whole lot with it. Here's Richard Humphreys trying to keep it in bounds, or at least try to get it out of. Here's a misstep, a potential shot here. Matovsky's on the ground, and no shot after Matovsky's on the ground. Oh my goodness. That's going to go uncalled. There was a slide tackle on, I believe, Tyler Matuzek, who's on the ground at the moment. And I believe for Inter Detroit, that's twice that Marko Matovsky has found himself on the ground, and Inter Detroit was not able to even get a shot off. But credit the Michigan Stars defense for swarming those attackers in those moments and being ready to pick up their keeper. Both teams that came into this game with 3 points after beating up on a first-year Detroit Badgers squad. And now here's a foul. Number 8, J.C. Maeda. Not a fan of what Ryan Bovey was doing there. And there's another yellow card given out. Bovey was the one who made initial contact, so I want to say that he's the one who received a yellow in this instance, but I'm not entirely sure.
Number 4, Ryan Bovey.
Checking in for Inter Detroit. His last game's man of the match, Nick Hatzios, who scored 2 goals against the Badgers.
Checking in for Inter Detroit, number 17, Nick Hatzios.
A header from the defender of Inter Detroit goes into the hands of Ian Janis, but it was nearly stolen away by Grant Mateer. Here's Gomez Ruiz, who's had the ball in his feet a lot this game. That ball sent down the way. Potential strike here, blocked by Alex Ofimu.
Out of bounds, ball stays with Inter Detroit.
Spent some time playing with Duca FC in the UPSL. Here's a trip, nothing called there. Another trip, and now that's called. Could we see another yellow? I feel like anything's possible with this referee. I don't know. Sound off in the comments. Am I wrong for thinking the way I am about this refereeing or these cards throughout this game? Over 60 of you watching right now. Love to hear your thoughts and opinions. So foul called at Inter Detroit. Now it is going to be Matovsky ready to send this one out. Less than 6 minutes to go in this game. And boy, I feel like neither side is probably feeling especially great about their performance in this game. If you're the Michigan Stars, you probably, I would say you definitely want to have more than one score on the board for as well as your offense has played and as well as your defense has held up. And if you're Inter Detroit, so many attacking opportunities you just have not been able to take advantage of. If you can't get a single goal in this game,
19, Brooklyn Leho back into the game.
I imagine just not particularly what either side wants in this game. Pretty frustrated on both sides. Leho checks back in. That cross was sent by number 10, Jokai. Now Detroit retains possession again. Not the counterattack they want. They'll get the ball back, though. Here's Bovey playing on a yellow. Looked like that ball went out of bounds. They're not going to call anything. The whole Inter Detroit team stopped. Here's an attack opportunity bumped by Edwin Gomez Ruiz. And that is going to be a foul on Inter Detroit. The way the whistle blew, it looked like he might have been awarded his second yellow. I shouldn't use the word awarded like that, but could have been the case. Instead, it's going to be number 22, Grant Matuzek. Tyler Matuzek, excuse me, laying on the ground. Less than 5 minutes to go. Less than 4 minutes to go now, actually, at this point. As time wanes on. So defense for Inter Detroit will have to get set. Number 8, Jason. If we talk to either one of the head coaches on either side, if this ends up being the final score, I would say both of them would be pretty frustrated by the result. Both of these teams came into this game thinking that they could win a match pretty handily in a 1-0 scoreline. Let's say anything but that. Regardless of whether you're a Stars or Inter Detroit fan, I can't imagine that you're particularly pleased by what you're seeing. This has been a game of inches, though. Both teams having those opportunities to connect and score on multiple occasions, not able to do so. Sometimes that's how the game of soccer goes. It's just, are you able to take advantage of the things that happen in front of you or not? Both of these teams known for excellence in the Midwest Premier League. So we'll see how this result ends up playing out in the grand scheme of things as the season goes on. Here's Galati on the attack now. Finds J.C. Maeda, the high schooler, former high schooler, excuse me, he just graduated on the outside. Now back in, potentially tripped. Now Edwin Gomez-Ruiz is bumped, no call. Gomez-Ruiz gets back up, finds the ball back in his possession once again. Gets triple teamed and now ball stolen from him. Rocco Galati now finds Maeda once again. Trying to make something happen here. Inside, number 9, Melakuki. We'll find Evan Combs, sends it out wide. Cross comes in. And now Irvin Castro sends that ball up into the air. Hatzio settles it. Now gets back on the attack. Pineda against 2 defenders tries to get that ball. Keep it in play by any means necessary. Bumped and bruised all around, and no call, but Inter Detroit gets the ball on the throw-in. Just a couple minutes left to go before we head into stoppage time. It's going to be number 14, Peyton Trask, coming in. The midfielder from Findlay had an impressive shot earlier in this game.
Number 14, Peyton Trask.
Throw-in goes back to the defense. Here's Garcia. Gets it out. That's Hernandez. Had Kearns next to him. He finds him. Ron touch there. Too much zip on that ball from Kearns, and it goes out of bounds in favor of the Stars. I wish I could be a little more hyped up or excited about this matchup. This has just been a frustrating match on both sides. I don't think a 1-0 score is what either side envisioned. And of course, if you're the Stars and you end up getting the win in this, 3 points is 3 points, but I imagine there's going to be a lot of talk from the coach, Grillo, on what to improve on. Here's Galati. Almost had Maeda inside. Excuse me, that was Melakuki. But Kearns able to get the ball back and send it to the other side of the field. That's Jackson Hart. No, excuse me. Not sure who that was that sent the ball towards the other side of the field. It's going to be Matovsky getting the ball in his hands as we are now officially in stoppage time. That ball sent up into the air. For the Stars, it's just in possession mode. You almost want to play prevent defense just to make sure that the Inter Detroit does not get a goal by any means necessary. Going to try to preserve those 3 points as much as you can. Humphreys heads that into the air. This is what the Stars want. They want to be able to have the ball just kind of kicked back and forth around a lot. Pedro Hernandez looked like he did something to the back of his lower legs on that last kick. He's signaling to be taken off the field. Hopefully everything's okay with him. Bosco Garcia finds Luke Kearns. Has Castro's now playing as a bit of a wingbacker. Had Gomez Ruiz inside, instead finds Pineda, who's got Kyle Jennings on the outside. Wants something inside for Hatsios, not able to take advantage. Goes through his feet. Here's Bovey. Far side. Stoppage time waning on, as we're almost ready to roll into the 3rd minute. Needs something quick here. Gomez Ruiz finds Kearns. Now back out to Jennings. Inside, no one there. Goes out for a goal kick.
Goal kick. Goal kick. Michigan Stars.
Cali tried to settle that ball, not quite, so it's going to go back to Inter Detroit. And it looked like the referee signaled another 2 to 3 minutes of stoppage time in addition to what we have already. So to kind of give fans at home an idea, roughly around the 95-minute mark, this one will be wrapped up with this one. Gomez Ruiz finds Pineda in the middle. Another attacking opportunity. Luke Kearns on the far side now. Cross, too far, over the heads, and into the net! Ryan Bovey! At the death! To tie the game at 1 apiece!
Inter Detroit goal, his first of the season, scored by number 4, Ryan Bovey!
To save points for Inter Detroit. An excellent cross from Luke Kearns all the way to the other side of the field. And the goal is scored by Ryan Bovey. We still have about 1.5 minutes left of stoppage time, though, so Michigan Stars obviously not going to give up. Anything can happen in just a few minutes, and neither is Inter Detroit. Here's Pineda. Inside, that was number 14, Peyton Trask. Pedro Hernandez. Looks better now running on his feet. Potential attack opportunity on the other side. Here's number 12, Evan Combs. Inside is Malakuki. And the offsides is called.
Offsides called on the Michigan Stars.
We expected that. I would have been shocked if they did not call that one. Man, oh man. Looks like there's an injury towards that number 30 marker. Not sure who that was who fell on the ground now, getting his legs stretched out. It is early on in the summer, so maybe some folks forgot to drink a water or two more than they probably should. And it is Pedro Hernandez, who we saw kind of limping earlier in this game. Looked like he was doing all right, but maybe that was the adrenaline rush getting to him more than anything else. He'll take a step off the field. Looks like it's Paul Skosilas, excuse me, that will take his spot. No, it's Liam Zimmerman, excuse me. So Hatsios keeps us in bounds. Not a whole lot of time left to go. These folks, you know, as far as the board says, it says 45 flat, so. Throw in. Kyle Jennings, far side. And that ball goes out of bounds. It's now in favor of the Stars. With the post-game report here in just a few moments. And never mind going anywhere. We're going to come back right here with the post-game report. Inter-Detroit Michigan Stars home opener for Inter-Detroit was a doozy of a game. A whole lot of nothing happening in terms of stuff on the scoreboard. It was Michigan Stars 1-0 for the majority of the game, but it was Ryan Bovee off of a cross from Luke Kearns, scored in the 92nd minute, that gave them the tie. So both of these teams will go home with 1 point each, meaning we still have a two-way tie for the top spot in the Great Lakes East Division between these two squads. Obviously, neither side particularly happy with how the match took place, especially the Michigan Stars getting handed a litany of yellows with Brooklyn Leho, Grant Mateer, Joe Kai, Connor Ballantyne, Rocco Galati, and Alex Ofimu each getting a yellow. Inter-Detroit got their yellows as well. William Zimmerman, Edwin Gomez-Ruiz, as well as Bovee, who was awarded his yellow about 10 minutes before he scored that goal to give this team the tie at the death. So Great Lakes East Division still up for grabs. Obviously, it was going to be up for grabs no matter who won or tied in this match. Some other numbers here for you. Ian Janis, 4 saves. And Marko Matowski, 3 saves for him. So big thank you to everybody watching this stream here on the We Are Soccer YouTube channel. For all of the Inter-Detroit Michigan Stars fans, thank you so much for tuning in on a Midwest Premier League night here on Saturday. From myself, from Derek, our PA announcer, the Point Images crew, my name is Garrett Pog. Thank you so much for joining us here on the We Are Soccer YouTube channel. Have a great night.